Oh yeah, let me open Twitter with my night mode for my lighting.
Genius.
As soon
Amazing.
as we go live, like yeah, let me check Twitter, dumbass.
I use it in light mode. I don't like dark mode. Not a fan.
I like dark, but I need to change it just so I can be on it when we do these shows because I use my monitor's lighting for now. I need to actually buy a light. It's not even like a cheap thing. It's just like I like the way the setup is and it kind of works.
Yeah.
On days I don't look blue.
Definitely.
Oh man,
Celtics starting 5 is out. I assume I know it, but I'll go take a look real quick.
this is the regular group.
I would assume. Yes, sir. It is the normal starting 5.
Nobody wants to hang out with us today, dude. What the
I was
hell?
gonna say.
Oh, here we go. All right, we got one. Is it me?
Maybe. Hey, I was checking.
Pod did well.
Did I stream to our places? Pod did do well today. It's a good start. Love to see it.
On a heater.
Yes.
Early start's low key dangerous. I don't think people know it's at 7 p.m. They're going to show up at 7.
It's weird. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that much. I'd rather a 7 p.m. start than like a 1 p.m. start or a 10:30 start, or you know what I'm saying? So,
agree.
Jared's in here. Jared's ready.
Welcome, Jared.
Jared. I don't know. I mean, the Celtics. At least you don't have to dread the games anymore. For that like 13 game stretch, it was brutal. Not even. We'll call it
dude, the clown gif was back.
I know. We'll call it a 7 game stretch, really, because it was like, if you want to throw the Jazz and the Rockets game in there, sure, but realistically speaking, like from first Knicks loss to the Cavs loss, that was the struggle. That was rough.
Yeah,
so many national games here. 7 p.m. memes. Is this a national game? This isn't a national.
I don't think so.
No shot. No shot. They put the Wizards on national TV. No.
He probably just means like he's programmed that way.
Yeah.
I will say, I'll kind of give the Utah game a pass because they were shorthanded, even though it's just as annoying. Like you were up 18, or 19, win the game. But Brogdon, hey, we want the 1 seed. We really want it really bad. You should have done that against the Rockets. That's how you should have felt. Don't kick away easy wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jared, Sam got you. I was confused. I was lost a little bit. Celtics back on track though. Have a chance to keep it going against the Wizards, who are without a few of their players too. Bradley Beal's out, Daniel Gafford is out, and Kyle Kuzma is out. So it's Porzingis and the fellas taking on the Celtics. What does that mean?
Celtics are losing. They're gonna say, we want this 1 seed really bad, but we're not gonna try against these guys that aren't NBA players.
Porzingis is gonna go for his all NBA spot now. He's climbing for it. Yeah. He's having a really good year. He's averaging.
No, I just wanted what your opinion, not the stats.
I think he's good. I think Dallas wasn't the best position for him. I know in like theory it should work, but I do think he needs. I think he needs the ball in his hands a little bit more than he was. Like realistically speaking, he got kind of turned into. What's a good example? He was just a catch and shoot guy, in Dallas, which is fine. But like, I do think he needs a little more freedom. Like he's averaging 23, 8.3, 2.6 on 49 and 38 splits. Like having a real good season. He might be their leading scorer this year. But I think it's a good situation to have him get more opportunities than he was getting in Dallas. And I just think he needs that freedom a little bit. Kind of like what he was getting in New York. Like obviously Carmelo Anthony was there, but it's not like Carmelo Anthony had the ball in his hands a million times a game. Like he's not a playmaker. He's a scorer. And so
he did have the ball in his hands. He just wasn't looking to pass it.
It's a little different than Luka though. Like Luka's usage rate's like all time high at this point. And so
yeah, it's crazy. And he's real sad.
Brady roasting Sam in the chat. Thank you, Brady. I respect this.
I went to place with the cookie skillets the other day. They do have a sugar cookie skillet. Did not try it.
Okay.
But they have them. People do order them. I think Ray got one. I will say Dallas absolutely hilarious.
It is funny. John quoting Sam here.
Yeah, we got to go
same energy.
Well, in fairness to the Celtics, they did actually play well. They played okay. They won 4 of the 6 games. Played good against the Kings. Kind of got away with some crap against they played well against Portland, but in like the Hawks game, they played well. Minnesota, they got away with one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockets game, obviously, they should have won. Should have probably beat Utah too if you're up 19. But they really put a stink on that stretch. Not the worst road trip it could have been. Could have been much worse.
I think they played better than a lot of people realize. But the sting of that 3-game stretch where they lost 3 in a row kind of carried over. And fair enough. I mean, you can't do that. So I don't know. It is what it is. I understand Utah because Al-Ra, but what the WTF the Rockets? Yeah, that's tough. It's tough to lose to bad teams, but you don't want to hear this because they were already in a rough stretch. Everybody loses to bad teams. Everybody's been losing to bad teams this year. Let's not act like the Sixers lost to the Rockets twice this season, right? Like, let's not talk like this is just a Celtics thing. It's just the timing of the loss, I think, which again, bad timing, but bad loss as well. I'm not like making an excuse for the loss, but like sometimes, like if that loss happened in November, you're just like, well, should have won that one, whatever, right? So
yeah,
it is what it is. It's tough, but
it's just funny that they're like, yeah, we really want the 1 seed. I'm not letting it go. Yep, we're really locked in on the 1 seed. Well, you kicked it away. I don't think you're going to get it now because you have to beat Milwaukee Thursday. And while I think they can do that, are they going to beat Philly on Tuesday after a bunch of days off? They typically are garbage on a bunch of days off, and Philly's going to want that game. They're not going to want to get swept by you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to win this game first before you get to Milwaukee.
Agree.
Milwaukee, by the way, will be on a back-to-back. Eyeball emoji. Who's going to be on the injury report? They're going to play Giannis. They're going to punt it to play mind games with you. I half think they might punt it.
I don't know.
With it being a back-to-back, I don't know why I have like a sneaky feeling they're going to punt.
How unfortunate it would be if the Bucks punted and still won.
That would be a disaster. I mean, the Celtics almost beat them punting earlier this year.
Mm-hmm. And you know,
Jonathan
if the similar things happens, like gotta go undefeated. I guess
I sure would like that. I think I really think they should have went undefeated all year.
That's what I was gonna say. You could say this at any point in the season.
That's how I feel every time. That's why I get upset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like going undefeated the rest of the season obviously would be ideal, and the Celtics are capable. But like it's a tall task, right? 8 games in a row. They've done it this season, but like it's not like 8-game win streaks come around every other week. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
It's true. I think it would be so Celtics to get themselves in a position for the 1 seed and then like not try against a bad team at the end of the season and lose it.
John, my man.
I agree. No. John, not that crazy. You know, Jack likes to be a little bit of a pessimist, but me.
You mean a realist?
No. Jack the Green Teamer.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I'm the disappointed father. That's why. I'm like the father that like wants his kid to go to the league.
This team's not good enough to win 74 games. And it's not a shot on them. That's saying they're not the greatest team in the history of basketball.
Well, that's neither here nor there. We'll see.
We will see. But back to the Rockets thing, just because I pulled it up to make my argument. Teams the Rockets have beat this year. Their first 3 wins were against Utah, Orlando, and Dallas, and then Atlanta, Oklahoma City. But after that, win against Phoenix, win against Philly, win against Milwaukee, win against Phoenix. Like, and then just recently they've beaten they beat the Celtics, the Lakers, and the Pelicans in a row. Obviously, Celtics the better of those 3 teams, but like good and playoff caliber teams lose to bad teams. It happens. It's just the timing of it. So it is what it is. They're literally the greatest team of all time. Yeah, sure. Okay.
They do have a little bit of a stake to play for, though. The over and win total 55.5. 4-3 is the record they need to get to hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, they'll be fine then. I think they'll get 55. Wow, they're really that close to 55 wins. That really puts it in perspective. 55 wins is a good season. Like that's
I forget what the record they have to get would be, but they could end up with the best record since 2009 this season. Which is actually kind of crazy to think about because they've had some good teams over the years.
Hello, Gear.
Gear, hello.
What was the greatest team? Probably the Bulls.
Prime
right?
Warriors or Prime Bulls, yes. I think it's a good question. You probably have to say Bulls just because they won the title.
They won, yeah.
That's not a shot at the Warriors. At this point in NBA history, does the regular season even matter? Meaning those KD Warriors teams, are they better than the Bulls? They might be.
Yeah. Just because of how dominant they were. Like, going 73-9
nobody was beating that team in 17 or 18.
No. Not even close. And, like, you could argue, I know you like to say if the Celtics got there, they would have put up a better fight, but, like, can we be honest with ourselves? They would not have.
What year?
I don't care.
Oh, in 18 when they lost the Cavs.
Yeah.
When they lost Game 7.
Yeah. No,
I don't know if they would have put up a better fight. Well,
they would not have won
4 games.
Yeah, they got swept.
They might have got
maybe
1 or 2. The Celtics under Brad Stevens always played the Warriors well. I don't think it's crazy to say.
They wouldn't have won though. Let's not.
The biggest woulda, coulda, shoulda is if Al Horford never left, they win the bubble. Then I stand by that.
Sure,
they win the title in the bubble if he never leaves.
KD Warriors wipe the Bulls. Sorry, maybe we don't know. It's really impossible to compete eras. Like the only way I think you can argue for quote unquote the greatest team of all time is looking at how dominant they were in their era, because it's impossible. Like you can't compare
Celtics wagon.
Sure, right? You can't compare it though. Like the Bill Russell Celtics were the greatest team of their era. The Bulls were the greatest team of their era. The Warriors have been the greatest team of this era. So, the greatest team.
Jordan Crawford, by the way, made me a pretty petty this month by trashing the Warriors. I got to write about him.
Love to see it. The last time the Celtics cracked 55 wins, 2010, 2011, they had 56. They had 55 in 2017-18 though. So,
yeah, well, that was a fun year. Jonathan says, Sam, would they have beat the Lakers with Horford? Yes, they punked the Lakers that year. They beat the hell out of them at the Garden, and they lost a pretty close one at Staples, if I'm not mistaken. That was a year they really had the Lakers number.
My dad and grandpa will tell you Jordan cured cancer. People are just so, what's it called? Like stuck in their era. Like they'll back their guys. Also, I didn't want to ignore this. Beast, legend. Shout out DH Gate or wherever you ordered it from. But, yeah, I don't know. I think you'll see the best version of this. I have a sneaky feeling, and hopefully, knock on wood, I don't jinx it. You're going to see, regardless of the outcome, purely from regular season. Like the Celtics could still win the title. I'm not comparing them to what the Suns did last year, but
that'd be a disaster. I know you have a point, but can you imagine if that happened? Like they come home for a Game 7, probably against Philly in the second round, and they just get punked. Oh man, that would be a terrible time to be alive.
Not my point. My point is like, I think the Celtics will have a very good regular season next year. I think this year we're sort of like, I think that should have been this year and it could have been this year, but I think the unknown factor of Robert Williams had a second knee surgery right before the start of the season, right? Malcolm Brogdon trade, he needs to get integrated, right? Ime Udoka, obvious situation. Joe Mazzulla is coming in. Meanwhile, the Suns, like realistically speaking, from that finals year to the year they had their 60-win season, did anything change? I think they just ran back almost the same group, maybe made a couple of additions, right? And the Suns. I'm talking about,
it was pretty similar.
When the Suns went to the finals versus the next year when they won 60 games, like
except Chris
not
Paul
a lot of changes. Sure, but I think the Celtics this year, their regular season was a little bit wobbly because of all the changes, and I mean.
Injuries.
I say wobbly, and they won how many games? Like let's be
Not
real
enough.
Here. Sure, but I think you'll see them win a lot of regular season games next year, more than probably this year. But you look at win shares, right? Last year, who had the most win shares on the Celtics?
I don't know. What does that stat even mean?
Rob, it's how many, like the way it should be phrased is if you were taken off the team, like that's how many wins you helped account for.
Yeah, but how do they decide that?
It's a formula. I don't know
Somebody
exactly.
Just makes it up.
My point is, Rob's agent
made that up.
My point is, by that metric, Rob was the most impactful player on the team, and you missed him for like almost half the season. That's my point.
It's true. So, he was huge last year, and he really made that defense go. He was such a force during that huge stretch run in the second half of the season, and having the inconsistent presence of him this year probably hurt him a little bit. I agree. I think going into next season, it's not guaranteed that they have a great regular season. I think we get the first hint of if that's going to happen or not when the All-NBA teams drop, because if Jaylen Brown gets on, they can say, here's all of our money, please stay. And if they're able to resolve that before the season, there's going to be a lot less chatter around the team. I think when you have that chatter, it's going to affect
He's not going to sign after the season. I don't think.
Even if he can get a Supermax extension, I don't know how that all works.
I'm pretty sure, and don't quote me on this, Keith Smith, like read all the articles he's written. I think with the way the cap works, how it goes up every year, he would lose money if he signed a max extension before his contract. I think, or maybe it is this year and he couldn't. That's why he couldn't sign it last year. But like, there's something along the lines of like he should be maximizing how much he can make on his next contract.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, and maybe it is this summer, but regardless, I guess
I just think for the team it's better. Obviously, that's the case. If you can keep him around, lock him up. If you have, I mean, Jack, just think about how annoying this last week and a half has been. You're going to have that all season next year. Granted, Jaylen Brown's been fantastic. So,
yes,
I mean, if you're going to have him be like this all season because people are like he's going to leave, I'll take it. I'll take 41-point Jaylen Brown with the mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hey, Kevin.
Legends, Celtics Talk Radio. Hello, Kevin. Jared saying you can get X% of the cap with the cap going up. So does Pat. Exactly. So he's going to wait till the last second because it'll maximize his payday.
They got to do something about that because at this point, it makes the whole extension thing pointless. Players shouldn't be punished for wanting to sign an extension with a team. It would create a lot less controversy around the team. I don't think it's a bad thing on Jaylen's end to want to make more money by waiting.
I think you might be right. I think he could probably sign an extension this summer and it would go with the cap when he gets paid. But I just don't know enough to talk about it.
The cap sucks, dude. Nobody knows what they're talking about except Keith. Keith is literally the only person that understands the cap.
Keith's a legend. I want to lock Jaylen up as soon as possible. This is annoying. Yeah,
it is annoying.
It's but like I said, there's also a part of Jaylen that probably has some sort of interest in seeing what's out there, and it's hard to blame. But this is exactly what Jaylen is probably trying to avoid because he doesn't know what's going to happen. Yeah,
good exactly. on him. Good on him. You can't have that. Speaking of, I mean, I just can't stop laughing at the Mavericks.
You love the Mavericks.
I love the Mavs. I love the Mavs. People don't care about what I'm writing about the Mavs, but they're absolutely hilarious.
Even though they won last night.
They did win against the fellas. They didn't have Halliburton or anybody playing from the Pacers.
Oh, really? I didn't know Halliburton was out.
But it is just so funny that is a dumpster fire. And it shouldn't be a dumpster fire yet. And in all honesty, it's fun to make it about Kyrie, but it really isn't either of those guys' fault. I don't think the roster just sucks. So it'll be interesting to see what he does this summer. Is he going to stick around? Nobody's going to pay him. Nobody's paying him. But will he leave for a team he wants to be a part of more? That's the interesting part. I have a feeling he's going to stick around. In all honesty,
really,
I think Dallas is truly the only place that he can get paid. The free agent class this summer, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that crazy. Harden seems like he's probably going to pick between Houston and Philly. Kyrie, do you really want him back? And besides that, where are you going to spend your money?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to see.
They're better off tanking. Kevin O'Connor put it out yesterday. They truly should tank. It's not a joke. In all seriousness, Dallas should tank. They have
out a year.
Their own pick only if it's in the top 10. And early in the season, we were talking about it on the pod and pregame. They were best off if Luka just hurt himself and they had to punt the year. They could get Victor. As much as you don't want to see anybody get hurt, this would have been the year. And then you can come back, have a guy that's really good, making no money. That's what you should want.
I mean, it's far from a perfect comparison, but look at the Pistons and the Hornets, right? LaMelo Ball's missed over half the season. Obviously, they have other stuff behind the scenes, but a couple of years ago, that was a play-in team. That was a team looking to make the playoffs, and now they punted a season, could get Victor, and that would improve. Look at the Pistons, right? This was supposed to be their year to push for it. Cade Cunningham went down a whole season, and now they have a chance to get in there, get a good player.
I was all in on the Pistons, dude. Before the season, I was like, Pistons were a real pain in the ass second half last year. They're going to carry it over. And they said, psych. You know what I'd really like to see is Portland get the top pick, if they even have it. I don't know if they have their own pick or not, but I would like that.
I think Portland, I can check for you. I think they do have their top. I think they do.
We're starting to get into fun season, chat. This is fun. Starting to get warm out. The playoffs are going to be here. The lottery will be here. Ooh, it's fun time. I can't wait.
Blazers.
Saying he thought the Pistons were a playoff team this year. Me too. I really did.
The Blazers traded their pick to the Knicks, but it's protected in the lottery.
Okay, so they can get the top pick.
Wait.
Actually, they definitely have their own pick because they're shutting down Lillard. They wouldn't just they would be pushing for everything they could if they didn't have their own pick, I think.
Sorry, I read it wrong. The Blazers own the Knicks pick, but it's top 14 protected, and that was the Josh Hart trade. Sorry. Okay. The Blazers traded their pick to the Bulls in the deal that landed them Derrick Jones Jr.
Oh, head and hands, dude.
But it would currently Yes, it defers to 2024 because it's top 14 protected.
I'm rooting for him. I think Dame should be rewarded for his loyalty. People like to clown that like storyline. I'm a big loyalty guy. I'm also a big I don't care about your stats if you're not winning guy. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword. But good on him for not really like forcing his way out or anything. And I know he's talked about this. I don't know what he said, so I'm going to shut up. But I would like to see them get some luck and either be able to get Victor or bring in a superstar to play with him.
Call me crazy.
And it's out west, so the Celtics will have to deal with him.
If they get Victor, trade Dame. Just start over. Just right.
I don't think so.
Just like, okay.
They do have young pieces to build around.
Exactly. Trade Dame, get an obscene haul of draft picks and young players from I don't care who. Build around Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Victor Wembanyama, and whatever you get back. Like, that's a good young team. And Dame would be fine with that team, but I don't know. I don't know.
Birkin with a direct slight to Al Horford.
36, 44, 0, and 7 are going up in the Raptors. Book it. We'll see.
They win. Yes, probably.
They win.
I don't know about 44, but the other three, yes.
If they win, throw Horford up there too.
I think Horford is going to go up if they win.
Yeah. They have to win, though. Sam for us. I'll wait for him to come back because I have a question to ask him, but we'll see. Taco Fall, Dave says, let's play. I want Taco. Maybe. We'll see. I like this comparison, Jared. A rich man, Gerald Green, is very funny. Gerald Green was a beast. He was cool. Jared saying if Cade stayed healthy, the Pistons would have been feisty. Sam and I both had the Pistons like close to the play-in at the start of the season. They were supposed to have a good year. They were fun. Cade Cunningham's nice. They had a good young core. They made a little bit of noise last year. They played the Celtics well, but then everything kind of fell apart. Everything kind of fell apart for them this year. Cade got out. I mean, they've made a couple interesting moves, though. Obviously, Jalen Duren looks good. Jaden Ivey looks good. Sam will be back. It's just a matter of if they get Victor Wembanyama next year. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, it should be interesting. NBA is a weird place right now. A lot of teams are decent. A lot of teams are, running the mill. But it's weird because, like, if you really think about it, Jared saying Duren and Ivy are studs. They're really good. John saying in 20 years, no one can wear any jerseys on the Celtics. Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Bergen saying,
sorry.
Welcome back. It's okay. I've been filling in. I was just about.
I don't even like watch porn on this computer. Like I'm not getting the computer viruses or anything. Why am I doing this?
I was just talking about how like weird the league is right now. Cause like you look at all like the teams like mid, right? Like let's be real. Like the Hawks have the talent to be a playoff team. They
2K
do.
thinks they're great. You play a 2K sim, they think the Hawks are nasty.
Exactly. They have the talent to be a playoff team. You look out west, like all these teams have talent to be a playoff teams, but because everybody is that talented, everybody is mid. Like everyone, like unless you're the Celtics, the Bucks, the Nuggets, or like the Sixers and Cavs, like everyone is just like in the same tier. And it's just because everyone is so like even keeled. Hello, Sean. Hello, everybody in the chat. John, maybe we don't shut that up, but thank you.
The bots are gonna come back and Jackson be pissed.
The bots piss me off. This is a good question, Jared. This was came from
like LeBron doing it because he loves emojis so much.
No, I think this came from this in 20 years when no one can wear a Celtics jersey.
Well, they'll just like go triple digits.
Do you think is there any Celtics player with the number retired that hasn't won a title?
Reggie Lewis.
What number is that?
35.
Is that it?
I believe so.
I think you're right. Do you think it'll ever happen again, or you need to win a title?
Oh, you need to win. Okay. Unless, I don't know. Actually, I could see, like, this is super biased, but I think Smart could get his number retired if he just stays here forever. One, because nobody's really going to wear 36. Like, that's number one reason. So you kind of justify it. But I do think people have a love for him enough to where he, like, kind of is a legend. He's been here for a while. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I'm interested to see where his career is going to go.
Caitlin Clark is nasty. White. I hope Iowa wins. Caitlin Clark's filthy. She's been
John Cena with disgusting. The shout out today.
She put up a 40-point triple-double. That's disgusting. IT4, maybe not. I don't think so, unfortunately.
I think there was a period there where they were thinking about it, because like people weren't wearing it, but then Carson Edwards took it, and now people just started wearing it again.
If he won a title, but that was a long shot.
I wish they'd bring him back and just sit him at the end of the bench.
I had a question. What players that are currently in the NBA will have their numbers retired?
LeBron, he's gonna get it retired in Cleveland.
All three.
Miami
definitely. Lakers maybe. Dame will get his number retired.
Dame will get his number retired.
Jokic?
Hold on. Give me a minute.
Okay, Sam's struggling here. I'm
doing the pick.
Trying to have a conversation, and Sam's just typing.
I know. I forgot about the pick.
Tough.
Break. I actually like this conversation though, so just give me 1 sec.
Yeah, the trio of I'll go over the easy ones. The trio of the Warriors will absolutely get all of their numbers retired.
Agree.
The question: does Iggy get his number retired?
Yes.
Really?
They really like Iggy. I mean, he's been there for all 4.
Yeah, sure. Fair enough. Who else?
Here we go. Pregame pick presented by Smash the Odds. Jason Tatum over 25.5 points. I'm not putting the gambling hotline up there this time. I'm trying to turn a new leaf. Be nice to Tatum. My knee-jerk reaction has been mean to him, so I'm trying to be nice. There's your pick. 28.5 points. Jack has been on the betting kick lately. I don't have any picks for
this.
you.
This is fucked up. We didn't.
Did I do that? Did I?
Maybe.
Did I do that, Urkel?
That's what he said.
Lowry gets his number retired in Toronto. Yes.
Jimmy Butler by Miami.
In Miami. No.
Hear me out. I saw this discourse on Heat Twitter a little while ago. They said Jimmy Butler's a top 4 Miami Heat of all time.
I think Jimmy Butler rules. And Jimmy Butler, by the way, is having maybe one of his better seasons. He's shooting 50%, 53% from the field or something, 35% from 3. Somebody in the chat, I want to say it was Jonathan, said he doesn't want to see the Heat in the playoffs. I agree. I think they're annoying. I think Spoelstra's annoying. Not annoying, but he's like so good he's annoying. Butler obviously turns it up in the playoffs. Lowry's a pain in the ass. Haslam does get his number retired.
Their argument is Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Alonzo Mourning, Jimmy Butler.
Haslam above Jimmy, just because he's been there forever.
Okay.
Does KD get his retired anywhere? That's actually a good question. Ooh. I'd say OKC is going to have like a big like we love KD because we have nothing else.
They'll have Russ. So will they need to? They'll just retire Russ's number.
No, they'll do KD too. They will. It'll be an eventual thing. They've given it away already, but I think they're going to like do a thing where like they like take it back. I really like that question, though. It's such a good one. Does Kawhi get his retired in San Antonio?
In Toronto?
Maybe. Toronto would be wild on 1 year.
Their only championship.
I know. No,
NBA history.
That is probably the best pitch for a
Shaq.
1 year
Shaq's number probably is retired by the Heat. Already.
No, he's asking if he's one of the great Heat players.
Oh, yeah, he's up there. But he only spent a few years there. Melo in New York, probably.
Yeah, he'll get his 7 retired. Does anyone wear 7?
I'm not sure. What about Jokic?
Brooke Lopez might get his 11 retired by Brooklyn, even though Kyrie wore it.
What about Jokic in Denver?
I mean, he's probably got a lot of games left to play. If he left today, though. I don't think so. But I don't know. Denver's like a mid-franchise.
That's what I'm saying. 2 MVPs.
You know what's funny is Melo wore that number 2. So now they can't retire it for Melo. Even though he spent a lot of time there, took them to the Western Conference Finals.
So did Jokic. Ooh. And Jokic won 2 MVPs.
Yep,
Giannis.
That's right.
Giannis
gets his retired easy.
What about Middleton and Drew?
Middleton, I don't know, because they both have like the same value. This is such a great conversation.
Right?
I love this stuff. I'm such a sucker for like stories like this.
Also interesting.
D Rose
by either franchise.
Mm-hmm. Probably depends how long he stays with LA. Pelicans would be lame. They didn't do anything.
Probably
they got
Bradley.
To the second round once.
Beal will probably have his number retired by Washington.
Maybe. They made the conference semifinals once.
Well, just because he's been there for so long, though. Right? You got to think of it that way. Luka? Does Luka eventually?
It's too soon to tell. He could piss them off. He's only been there for 5 years. That's like, does Tatum get his number retired? I don't know.
That's different. That's different because the Celtics.
It's the Celtics. Have the standards are different. But
do you think the Kings retire Fox and Sabonis for getting them to the playoffs for the first time in 20 years?
That would be so sad, especially if like they just suck after this year.
I think Fox at the very least might make a little more sense. But
he's been there his whole career.
Exactly.
I'm trying to flip through in my head.
Nobody.
Of other
Devin
teams.
Booker. Devin Booker.
It's too soon. Too soon to tell.
He's been there for almost 8 years already.
It's true. I just think it's too soon. I don't know. These other franchises, it's so hard for me to tell. When I think of retired numbers, I really think of like something special. And it doesn't always have to be.
Embiid?
Again, too soon. Probably yes, though.
Okay.
Because AI's retired. He got him to 1 finals. That was it.
DeRozan. Raptors.
Toronto. I feel like you almost have to. You traded him for a title.
Yeah.
That'd be the most like sad, pity, like number retirement. But he was there for a long time, and they had really great years. They were the number 1 seed when they were trying to battle Cleveland. They took 2 games off in the conference finals in 2016. It was a good series. So that's a good one.
They have not, from what I'm seeing. And this article is from a couple years ago, I think. But from what I'm seeing, they have not retired Arvydas Sabonis' number.
Kevin Love probably gets his retired in Cleveland. Kyrie, interesting.
Kyrie? I mean, if Kevin Love does, Kyrie does.
It's true.
I assume.
There's truth to it. I don't know. It's weird because Kyrie is such like a rat. They probably will because they have like nothing.
Yeah, I suppose.
But D-Rose in Chicago is going to get retired.
D-Rose, yes. I agree. Definitely. It's a fun question. I enjoy it.
Dude, I could literally talk about this all day. Blake Griffin will get his retired with the Clippers. Chris Paul, too.
Nikola Vucevic in Orlando.
Oh, that'd be the saddest thing ever. No.
They don't have a single retired number.
They have Shaq. I watched them retire Shaq's number.
Okay, then
I'll put my house
GM
on
is wrong. Real GM is wrong. Orlando Magic retired numbers. Nah.
No. We're Googling this now.
Yeah, Orlando Magic need to honor history and retire jerseys. They have one number. It's number 6. They retired it for the 6th man, and obviously Bill Russell too. That's it.
I swear to God, I watched them. Maybe it was Miami.
Have not retired Shaq's number.
My mouth's just agape.
I told you. The Magic have none.
Oh, it was Miami. That's weird.
Also, ultimate like weird moment. Miami retired Michael Jordan's number.
Yeah, that is weird.
Don't like it. Dwight Howard in Orlando, that would be another great one. They just haven't. They said no.
They haven't done Shaq. Did they do him?
What about the Grizzlies?
Oh, how mad would Shaq be if they did Dwight, not him? Because they have beef.
You know what? They should do it. Go ahead.
They should not retire Shaq Birkin. Knock it off.
What about the Grizzlies? Marc Gasol?
Maybe
Let
Conley.
me
I think Randolph. They've done Randolph, and they did Tony Allen.
Randolph. Yeah, they have. That's what I'm saying. If they have those two,
Gasol will go up then.
You know what I'm saying? Anyways, it is about time for the game. Zebo is retired. His number 50, and Tony Allen's number 9. So if that's the bar, I mean, Tony Allen got number 9 retired. 8.9 points, 4.3 rebounds, 1.7
former
steals,
Celtic
7 seasons. Respect them. But Zach Randolph, 2-time All-Star. I didn't realize that. Mike Conley and Gasol probably. Shout out. I mean, I know we don't like to shout at the Lakers because it's Celtic podcast, but that Paul Gasol retirement was nice. That was cool to see.
Didn't watch it.
I know. Birkin hoping for Robert Williams. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Sam?
Looking to get yourself $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Use promo code HBTC. Be like Lewis, who was not here today. Rat. For the discount on your first purchase. Go see anything. Doesn't have to be a Celtics game. Could be a concert, comedy show, play, or any other sporting event. The Red Sox start soon. I'm sure they'll be giving away tickets with their scrub team this year.
Sign up for Student Nines if you're a student. It's good value.
Yes. Read my heavy stuff. I've been trying real hard. Nobody's cared.
Read mine too.
15. No, Jack has plenty of people reading. You don't need to. I've written 50 in the past 2 days, and literally no one cares.
50?
15. No.
Oh.
50 would be unreal. That would literally be more than 1 per hour.
I was gonna say, what are you on? But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Check out the new pod dropped this morning. It's doing well on YouTube, so go check it out. Andrew predicting 99 Wizards 1. Go bet. Put your bet on that. Probably get some good odds. Fist bumps for Jared. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out on all social platforms. Check out Heavy on Celtics. And we are, again, new pod drop today. Check us both out on Twitter below our faces. We will be back on Thursday
for pregame. There is a back-to-back Thursday, Friday, but I still think we should react to the Bucks game.
Yep, we'll probably do a pod. We'll probably do a pod after the Bucks game. Then we'll probably do another one on Saturday.
We'll do one sometime. We're going to start ramping up. Playoffs are coming up. We're ready.
Yes. We'll be here. Make sure to check out the YouTube feed for content. Subscribe if you haven't. We just hit 300 subs. Thank you very much. We appreciate y'all. Go leave us a rating on all podcast platforms. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys on Thursday. Peace out.